6:52 time for the morning sprint.
We're learning more about the gunman who killed 3 people at a university in Nevada. Police now say he was a former college professor who was trying to get a job at UNLV. Officers are still unsure as to the exact motive for the attack. They're not identifying the victims or the gunman at this point. This is the 30th shooting on college campuses this year.
At the state capitol, a group of 10 people admitted that they tried to overturn the 2020 election. It settles a lawsuit that was headed for a jury trial 2 months before the next election. The group of so-called fake electors say they created a certificate of votes at the request of the Trump campaign and the Republican Party of Wisconsin. Under the deal, they'll have to help the DOJ now with the election interference case against the former president.
We have an update in the fight over abortion in Wisconsin. The Sheboygan County DA says he will appeal the latest ruling that overturns the state ban. It's likely this case will go all the way to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. It's a reminder it's now controlled by a liberal majority for the first time in more than a decade. That decision will have a final impact on how the ban is enforced.
Governor Evers is keeping his word to the transgender community after vetoing a law that would affect them. The bill would have prohibited doctors and healthcare providers from referring or performing gender-affirming surgeries on minors. When the bill was introduced in September, Evers vowed that he'd veto it if it passed through the legislature.
Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy calling it quits this morning. In a Wall Street Journal op-ed, the California Republican announced he will retire from Congress at the end of the year. This comes after a historic term as House Speaker. He was the first person removed from the position after he worked with Democrats to pass a temporary spending bill.
4 presidential candidates took to the debate stage last night in an effort to chip away at former President Donald Trump's commanding lead in the polls. There wasn't much that they could all agree on, except that they all want to move past Trump. The former president spent his evening in Florida at a fundraiser at a super PAC supporting his candidacy.
The war in the Middle East continues as Israel says it's closing in on the man they say is responsible for the October 7th attacks. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a statement saying the IDF is currently surrounding the home of the Hamas chief in southern Gaza. The Gaza-run health ministry says more than 16,000 Palestinians have died in this conflict.
A Dane County court entered a not guilty plea for a former Sun Prairie school resource officer accused of child sex crimes. 34-year-old Lamont Crockett stood silent during his arraignment yesterday. He's facing felony charges of sexually assaulting a child, enticing a child, and more. Police arrested Crockett in August, a month and a half after a former student told police that Crockett assaulted him.
We now know where the carbon monoxide came from that killed a Verona Marine and 2 others this summer. Newly released autopsy findings show the vehicle police found the Marines in had unconnected and rusted exhaust pipes. The new report says there were no obvious signs of suicide. The Marine from Verona, Tanner Kaltenberg, was laid to rest in August.
The DNR wants you to start planning now to get rid of your Christmas tree. State law prohibits waste like leaves, grass clippings, brush, and wood from going into the landfill. So the DNR recommends chipping or composting your tree. A lot of municipalities like Madison offer services to take care of your tree, such as drop-off or curbside tree collection.
All right, 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock as the sun is coming up on the horizon here. Platteville, we are seeing the clear skies this morning from our Queen Bee radio sky cam. Here, the sun looking to the east here in Madison, seeing that sun coming up over the horizon. Officially, the sun's not up until 7:14, but we should see plenty of the sunshine, and that will warm us up. Right now, we're at the low for the morning here. Not bad, 33 in Madison. It's down to 28 in Boscobel and Lone Rock. But the bus stop forecast, we'll look at upper 40s today. Some locations likely to get very close to 50 today and quite a bit of sunshine. So need that heavier jacket this morning, but maybe not so much later today. And also tomorrow, we're talking about mid-50s in our forecast tomorrow. Maybe a little bit more cloud cover tomorrow afternoon. That's out ahead of our next storm system that'll bring us mainly rain Friday night into Saturday. May see a little bit of snow as it starts to wind down Saturday afternoon, but we will turn a little bit cooler. But dry weather next week.
Boy, and these gorgeous sunrises these days, huh?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Have a great day, everyone. We'll be back in 30 minutes with the news and weather update.